following message is being transmitted at the request of the Boundless PodTrap movie review and the guys of the BPT. What you are about to hear contains spoilers to movies. If you don't want to hear these spoilers, please disengage your listening device at this time. If you can't handle those with a possible differing view on a movie, you may also want to disengage your listening device at this time. Stay tuned for a movie review that only the guys at the Boundless PodTrap can give you.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Oh yeah, he hasn't turned it on yet.
Oh, I just did. Oops.
Hey, we're on, we're off.
We're on point already. That's my bad.
Well, as I tried to say, I'm really excited for this one.
Why? Why do you get so excited when AJ's gone?
I didn't even know AJ was going to be missing, so I'm sad. Sad, AJ.
Sometimes
but
when
I
he's
hope you're
here, he's
enjoying the sun in the Bahamas.
He's really excited because this was his movie he picked.
Right.
And I loved it.
So far,
I mean, we're going to get our ratings here very shortly.
So far, I've loved every single movie that you brought on here.
Both of them?
Yeah, all two.
I forget which ones he's put on here. I forgot.
I think it's only two.
Babylon.
And this one.
Yep.
No.
Wait,
was
there
there?
There
another
was
one?
more. There was definitely more. The Kellogg's one.
Oh,
so
yeah, the
No, I didn't love
Kellogg's.
that one.
And there was one more, I thought. Because he's been here a year. That's 4 movies.
That'll be 3. I think we skipped them.
4
once.
4 times 3 is
Yeah. Well, no, 4 times 4.
That's
I'm not on the
16.
4s anymore.
Oh,
well, there's 4 people.
we-
That's yeah.
Oh.
You're still on that?
Yes, I'm still on. No, I'm not on the 4s anymore. You son of a bitch.
You're welcome.
Anyway, moving on.
What were we doing? Let us know.
Well, this is 2024's.
Yeah, you weren't ready, motherfucker. You set him up for the question and you weren't even ready.
My finger hit the first one, the gook one.
The Gook.
I got gook all over my finger now.
Woo!
That's true.
Do the year again.
Gookie fingers. 2024's Woman of the Hour.
I was just about to do that.
It did have belch in parentheses. So.
We were provided food today, so we're pretty full.
Appreciate the food.
Yummy's in my tummy.
Shout out to Maple Ridge Retirement Community for letting me eat food and sharing it with my friend.
Yum,
It
yum.
was delicious. We appreciate it.
Had some chow.
Put your
Cubano and creamy chicken creamy chicken soup.
if you need somewhere for your parents to go, this is the place.
Yeah. Also, I need like teenage kids who actually show up for work. So if your teenager is 15 or older and wants to work, let me know.
In fact, you're going to have to bend over backwards with dedication.
It's good use of podcasts.
It is.
Scouting. So
Hey, you
I could listen to this and work.
there you go. Yeah, you could listen to us while you work at the retirement home.
Sometime.
But back to the movie.
Yeah, sorry.
So this is Anna Kendrick's director debut.
Directorial.
All right. Oh no.
2024.
We already got there. Anna Kendrick's.
Anna Kendrick's directorial
Thank you.
debut.
Not bad.
Yeah, I liked it. Not going into my rating yet, but this movie is based on a true story. It's back in the 70s. A serial killer is on the loose. Anna Kendrick's character goes on a game show where it's a dating game show, and there's 3 contestants she's got to pick from, and she ends up picking the serial killer.
Right on. I was very familiar with the happenings, Rodney Alcala and all that. That's one of the, when I think back to like Prolific. Fix it for me.
No, I think that's right.
Is it right? It doesn't feel right off my tongue.
Prolific?
Prolific.
Oh, there it is with a C. With a C.
What would you guys do without me?
I don't know. I would look to the ceiling a lot.
You do that already?
Yes. But now I know you're here, so I use you like a personal...
That's true, you do. I feel used.
Dictionary.
I like that.
Thesaurus.
Love it.
Yeah.
All those.
Anyways.
Electronic
All
device.
those
Anyways,
things.
that was one of the
Fleshlight.
murder places, all the above. That's one of the murders that I was very familiar with. I mean, I remember listening to podcasts or watching true crime stuff way back when, and the dude just passed away. Was it 2020 or so?
I wasn't familiar with this at all. I'd never heard of this.
No. Well, I was very familiar with it, so I knew some of the stuff that was happening, and I knew this was more dramatized?
Right.
Dramatized? Fuck.
Dramatized.
Starting off.
My brain hurts today.
And I liked the liberties that they took with this, but go ahead. You continue. That'll be more of my rating.
Well, I think I think that's the description of the movie, so we can get into ratings. You're starting off. Go ahead.
Oh, I'll just bridge it back here then.
Bridge it back.
Who's Bridget?
Or
Bridget.
the weave, as President Trump says. President-elect.
Nappy
Yeah,
headed.
congrats. We'll get into that later.
But no, I really like this movie. Well, to an extent. There are certain things that I feel like they could have gone further, but I'm also glad that they didn't. They did scale a lot of things back to make it more of a female perspective.
The guys are getting intimidated. Boys, they're babies.
Right.
And they didn't push too far on certain things. I'll get into that a little bit later. But overall, I'm just going to give my score. Overall, it's a 7.5.
7.5. And what's interesting about your rating is you can tell you rated it based off knowing the true events.
Yes.
Where obviously John and I are going to not rate it based on that at all.
Right.
That's what you think.
He's looking up the stats right now.
No, I was
I'm gonna
responding
change
to
my
dumb
rating.
kids again.
I'll go in between you guys.
If you have anybody that wants to work.
I cut all that out.
No, sorry. No, you didn't. You didn't cut that part out.
That was before your wife come down.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was before his wife came.
Oh.
Anyways.
I'll go in between you guys because I just want to see where you are, where I am, where he is. For me, I loved this movie. Right away at the beginning, it got me. Like that first murder, I was like, fuck, dude. I never even thought of someone murdering me that way.
Deranged.
So right away, I was hooked. One of my favorite parts was when the serial killer started following Anna's character in the parking lot at Hollywood Studios. For some reason, that I loved that wide shot she did.
Closing in type thing.
Yeah, and it was like, the shot was like closing in as he was closing. Yeah, I really loved that shot. It stuck with me. Honestly, there was nothing I would have changed about this movie. It was the perfect runtime. The pacing was great. There was no lulls, in my opinion. I was never bored or...
Lulls as in?
Like my mind starts to wander.
Okay, got you. I was going to say, there's a few lulls. It's funny parts.
Yeah.
But...
So, and I love Anna Kendrick. She's adorable in everything she does, which is probably not the feedback she would prefer as an actress, but she is. She's just...
Adorable is probably a better comment than maybe some other people's more
PG.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Why'd you look at me?
What? I looked at the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Over you.
Is this the dress you're wearing?
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce. Can you hear me? Yeah. Can we get her in something just a little more flattering? I mean, she's got the body, so let's use it.
So even though this isn't like an Oscar-worthy movie or anything, you're not going to hear about it in the news or anything. To me, there was nothing I would have changed.
So it was raved at Cannes Film Festival. Yeah.
Oh,
Is it because of
That's why it's on Netflix.
Anna Kendrick, or is it
Netflix bought it
because
after that? What?
Is it because of Anna Kendrick's?
I don't know. I
Directorial.
didn't get into that part of it. Directorial, Davey.
Well, based on the fact I loved it, it caught me at the beginning with a murder that I'd never thought of. New nightmare unlocked, honestly. And we'll get to what that murder is once we start actually talking about the movie. 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, nothing I would have changed.
Wow.
And so like, even though it doesn't seem like a movie that you should give a 10, it's just the fact that there's nothing. I have no critique on it. Nothing.
Huh. Yeah.
Every time somebody makes a critique or a rating, it makes me want to I feel like I'm more opened up afterwards.
Well,
hard
and
to
like
go
I said, it
first.
was interesting because you're basing your rating off knowing the true events. And so you kind of
But that can go two different ways.
You judged the movie based on that.
I didn't really judge it based on it. I judged the movie for what it did while I knew the knowledge of what happened.
Yeah, but you said in your review, you're like, I'm glad they didn't that they went a little further outside the real story, but they didn't go too crazy. So you were judging it.
I feel like, mainly for Anna Kendrick's directorial debut. You're gonna correct
you
it?
got to
or-
mess.
Nope, I'm letting this
John.
happen. I'm letting this happen.
All right, but I mean, you can see a lot of her vision because she is more of a softer, I guess, vision. Like
Because she's
more
adorable.
niceties. She has more niceties, I guess. And it's like putting it through the lens of this, where you're not getting so graphic and gory and all this. It's like, do we even see much blood other than
I mean,
dry blood?
cut lips. Nothing crazy. No real gore.
And then how they do the close-ups, so it's more suggestive. It insinuates something that's going on. You can see certain movements, whereas you're not getting the full picture. You're just experiencing the trauma in a sense. And I think that also kind of adds to it. Like, people are saying this is like a horror movie. It's like, I mean, it has horror elements. It's a suspense movie. It's a thriller. Yeah.
I would not say this is a horror.
Definitely not. But I've heard some like female critics about this or critiques about this where they're saying it's a horror because this is everyday life for people. I'm like, this is,
Gotta go woke with the review.
Well, I feel like part of the movie was woke itself.
There was part, and I'm glad that they didn't go over the envelope. But there is a few lines that I think that are necessary to make it more than to carry the suspense. And you're like, fuck, and that was deep. But I mean, if you view every single male this way, but yeah, I mean, and again, this is also an actress getting into the acting world. So in Hollywood,
in the 70s.
Yes. And
let's act like that wasn't really happening.
It was.
Yeah.
But it is an exploitative arena.
And indeed, that's why the whole network's about to go down when the P. Diddy shit comes out.
Right. But as far as knowing anything about the events, it doesn't derail me from any sort of, like I know certain things that didn't go this way and certain things actually went this way and the names that they pulled or redacted from this and made up some, it's collaborations of certain peoples for the most part. Some people you can kind of put a name and a face to, such as the flight attendant lady, his actual first kill, or at least known first kill.
Yeah.
Because there was up to 108, 130.
Yeah, they don't know.
Possible.
They're guessing.
But he was convicted on 8 of them, was it? I believe.
Guessing, but I also feel in those situations, people are just like, we couldn't figure this out, so maybe he did that.
Yeah. Close and cold.
You guys gonna let me do my review?
I think so.
Well, I guess.
I think so.
Get in there. No,
I was like, Justin's just talking away over here. I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about this movie. I was interested. I was entertained by it. I was interested in what was going on. I felt like there was too much jumping around to different
See, that's
things.
one of the reasons I like timey-wimey shit like that.
No,
Same.
I mean,
How do you like Memento then?
I love Memento, but that makes sense with the
Well,
story.
I guess it's all backwards.
This one doesn't really make sense with the story for me. Like I feel that she just did it to be different. She was trying too hard to direct.
Maybe.
I feel like it helped
way.
with the pacing.
Yeah, same.
See, I don't know. I feel like there was a couple things that didn't really go anywhere. Like the black chick who saw him on the game show. Like she just went and yelled at people. Like that was
kind of. But she was a prime witness.
Right. But
I feel like this followed two people's. I mean, you get Rodney.
But did they show her? I don't remember, but they didn't show her after she left and was like, do your fucking job or whatever.
Right. I don't think there was anything else after that.
Which, did she say that? Did she not say that? Or is that woman power kind of thing?
Plus,
you know what I mean?
her being a black chick, I was like, what the fuck? You got that flat iron hair back in the 70s? And no, we're just playing.
I don't hate this movie by any means. A big thing, and you put this in your little theory, is rewatchability. And I don't think that this has much of a rewatchability for me.
For timeline purposes, I think you can go back and enjoy it better.
I actually did watch this twice. I watched it again yesterday.
No, you did.
I did, which is rare for me.
Yeah.
I don't watch movies a lot twice.
Well, you just gave it a 10, so I mean.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and I was like, I'm going to watch it again.
2 10s? What's that?
I don't know. I think Daniel Zavato did really well as Rodney. Like, he was super fucking creepy. Like,
It's such a beautiful piece.
You know it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe this dude was literally going to kill anybody he was talking to. His interactions with the Bachelor number 2 on the show were entertaining and like, oh my God, this guy's like literally a fucking psychopath. So I enjoyed his work. I'm a big fan. He's in a lot of horror movies, so I'm a big fan of his work. He's in It Follows and shit, I can't remember the other one at the moment. I can look him up here in a second, but overall, I gave this a 7. Okay, like it wasn't, like I said, I just rewatchability just takes it down for me. And the jumping around were the main two parts. Like I said, I sounded super negative when I started this, but it was those two things that I was like, I can't give it anything higher than a 7. You know what I mean?
How do you feel right now?
Fine.
And that time jumping thing is definitely not for everyone. I am a big fan.
Don't Breathe is another movie he was in.
I'm a big fan of the time jumping. Like any show or movie that ever does that, it always gets me because it makes me more curious about like what's actually happening. I'm ready for
When
this
it's
all to
done
get
well,
pieced
I
together.
enjoy it. Like Memento, like you know. But
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I love Mementos.
It doesn't. This one I think only gave 2 credit as far as like year and time and all that. So you do have to reserve that back. Whereas I also liked the time jumpy thing for this because it's a suspenseful thriller where it says when you're following certain leads and they're confused and kind of going a little crazy with, I don't know if she would say she's going crazy, but she's trying to figure her way in this place. Whereas the audience is also trying to experience the same thing. I feel time jump type of things can be devices for the audience as well.
And I felt she just used it just to do it and try to be, oh, this is my directorial debut. I'm going to try to do something fancy. You know, a lot of directors are trying to do that after Nolan does it rather well in most of his movies.
So when you
Memento, you know, I'm actually
when you
found my
finish the movie
tonight. Not
and
Memento,
you kind of think back, going back, and you're like, holy crap, the whole interaction with the 15-year-old girl was after the game show. You know, although the delivering of the game show part was already passed after he met her.
Right.
I think it ended fantastically. Like that woman is like, that's
So
a real
smart.
thing. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like young women should look at that as if they're in hopefully
There's
you're
a
not
reason
in a
for that, though.
situation
She just,
like that. but
she just read the character of the man. She just,
There's a reason
she
for
woke up
that,
and that
though.
dude's fucking crying. We'll get into that. But
we'll get to that. For me, I and it's fine that you don't like the timey-wimey. I just really think it was.
I'm sorry.
Timey-wimey, are you making fun of him?
No, timey. I always say that because of Doctor Who. Timey-wimey. For me, I really feel like it was the pacing. Because like if you did it in chronological order, I just feel like you would have gotten bored throughout the film because it would have lagged.
Perhaps.
Whereas this was a way to keep things moving.
Right. For again, my rating as far as keeping it for what it was, examining the movie itself, maybe if the audience would have known, because you're not necessarily following Rodney, you're following pretty much Laura and Cheryl slightly because you get both timelines of Laura back when she met with her friend, and then now, and then with Cheryl, as far as like pre and post game show. But fuck, what was I gonna say?
Hard to say.
Yes, it is. Train of thought is just right out the window. It's been a long few days, so I don't know where I was going with that. I liked the timey-wimey stuff.
Timey-wimey.
The pacing. I had a pertinent thought. Anyways, that gives us a BPT rating of 8.5.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. Good stuff. Highly suggest this one for our fans.
So, written by Ian McDonald, and I guess Anna Kendricks had something to do with going over writing too, or no?
Yeah.
I mean, all directors do
Just,
at
you
that
know,
point.
the proofreading, not
gotcha.
proofreading, but like, you know what I mean? Like they read through it and they're like, all right, let's mess with this a little. Let's mess with this a little. Yeah, I don't think she actually like wrote any of it, but I could be wrong.
Gotcha. What do you got for numbers? Gross?
I did not look up. I mean, it's a Netflix movie. I didn't look up gross.
Yeah, you usually can't look up those numbers.
So early right now, I mean, it grossed 125,000. Allegedly. It's still
And so that's all like, is that all
I
international?
don't know how they.
'Cause-
I don't know how they figured that out.
right. There was no release or opening, but this
Yeah,
is just the
right.
gross. So what was current from the time that I pulled this, it's still a very fresh movie right now as far as time of recording. Internet Movie Database put it at 6.6, Metascore at 74.
Palm Springs International Film Festival at won best category for director to watch. Anna Kendrick won it for this movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Was there 2 awards, was it?
Just the one there. It was at not Cannes, Toronto Film Festival, which is another bigger film festival. Shortly after Netflix, which was to distribute the film worldwide for $11 million, acquired distributing rights for $11 million for the film. So interesting. It's always weird when I see films that are like successful at like Cannes or Toronto or whatever, and then they get bought by like Netflix or something. Like that's cool to me. Like I'm sure as a filmmaker that would be something you would want at someday in your life. Or Jeremy, like, oh man, my film. Dude, if we could enter the Cannes Film Festival, but you are a sellout. So
Oh, damn it. Damn it.
Just kidding.
What do you guys want to get into this, or was there anything else?
I think that let's jump in.
All right.
Oh, it did go to Keynes too.
There you go. Both.
Kendrick donated her pay to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network.
Yeah, I don't think she
Victims
kept
of
anything.
Crime Network. Yeah, so she didn't take any money off this movie herself. So that's cool. I do think that's really cool.
I'm sure she's got a pretty good net worth already, so doing something like that.
When it comes to like documentaries or docuseries or something like that, where they have something to go off of, there's something to base. I don't know that I would say that Rodney's character was solely. Because, I mean, if you watch the actual TV show, did you watch it? Go back and watch the game show.
Oh, no.
The episode?
Yeah.
It's
It's
on
cheesy
there?
as fuck. It is on YouTube.
Oh,
Her
wow.
episode?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the show before.
Gotcha.
Not her episode, though.
He talked smoother and he was very cheesy. And they made him.
Well, that's how
in this-
everybody was on that
Yes.
show.
Yeah.
They made him a little bit more calculated and,
Yeah.
knew the right things to say to try to swoon in. And yeah. I wasn't.
Did he say he always gets the girl?
He did, but he also called himself a banana.
A banana.
A
Yeah, he's like,
banana?
You gotta
I'm a
peel
banana.
him?
You got to peel me. Yeah, he did say that. And then when he finally won, I mean, she
That's
said
gay.
something along the lines of, I'll pick the banana. And it's like,
It's kind of funny.
dummy.
Bachelor number 1, I am serving you for dinner.
Oh,
What are you called, and what do you look like?
I'm called the banana, and I look really good.
Can you be a little more descriptive?
Peel me.
And he was actually suitor number 1, bachelor number 1.
Well, this
Instead of
movie's
number
just
3.
this disregarded facts all over the place.
What is this?
I've never done this before. What do I do?
Just be yourself. Try and forget that there's a camera here.
Okay.
Tell me about yourself. Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from?
We start off a peaceful opening of nature, valleys, waters, sunset, etc. in Wyoming, 1977. Our guy, Rodney, is out alone taking pictures of what is assumed is his date. That's kind of what I took from this. She's trying to...
ugly.
She looks a
I'm
little,
fine.
a
I
little
was just
weathered.
being mean.
The sun was directly in her eyes.
That's true.
And it sounds like she was just going through a divorce or some
Or a
big breakup
yeah.
of some sort.
And I
So-
think because they lost a baby, was that
Something like that.
context
And I don't
clues,
know if it was
maybe? I don't.
he left before then.
yeah,
or something like that.
This,
Or he abused
this might have
her
been a
and that's why.
double homicide, and she was still pregnant.
Uh-oh.
So
Wow.
But yeah, no, she tries to explain her travels to him. And
Travel
he sort
these
of
nuts.
breaks her
I don't
composure.
know why.
Our guy Hot Rod here, he tries to put on the smoothness of her, talking about how she looks good. Just kind of coaxes her and reassures her. So, and plus he's sporting 2 cameras, so he's a legit.
legit
Yeah,
photographer.
back in the 70s. You got 2 cameras on your neck? Fuck yeah. However,
the sounds, that was really good.
it wasn't.
It really came across.
So, and within like the first few seconds or minutes, it jumps straight into this show. She explains her failed plans of having a child, boyfriend up, and leaving. She told no one, but she still likes the risk.
But like, fuck it. Everyone's risky.
So it's like this chick who kind of goes for the bad boy and then realizes it was a mistake. It's like, well, no fucking shit. You had the red flags the entire time. But in this situation where Rodney, I mean, he kind of, he is there, but he's not all there. As far he's got like, he knows what to say. He knows how to put it on, but he doesn't necessarily feel it.
Yeah. He's very good at manipulation, making women feel wanted,
Right.
beautiful,
Or disarm them and be able to
Yes.
drop their
make
defenses
them feel
and stuff.
safe.
So he like comes off as like a caring gentleman, but he's not so much.
Yeah,
But then like he reaches up and put his hand around the throat and you're like,
toying
is he
with her a
doing?
little,
You know?
little cat
As-
playing with his mouse.
as the audience, like I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
Mhm.
And then like
It's that
he actually
uneasiness.
chokes her out. And this is one of the 1, 2, 3 things in the movie that like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. This new nightmare unlocked of someone choking me to death, only
Resuscitate
to
you.
bring me back with
that's what you meant. I was
CPR.
like, you just attacked her.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
it,
So
yeah.
yeah, choked her to death, brought her back with CPR, assuming he choked her to death again. I don't know how many times he did this to her, this lady. Like he could have done it all night long. How fucked up would that be to keep dying over and over and over again? I was like, holy fuck.
Like, you think he choked her out mid-orgasm?
And then she came
That'd be
to.
intense.
She came to. Jeremy uses that in like every single thing. Did you ever
What?
notice when he he says when he came to, he uses that phrasing in every single project. He's like, and when they come to, what kind of movie is this?
I guess he.
To me, it's always like, huh?
So this is where the movie
Grow up.
This is where the movie hooked me right away. It was just this one scene because I mean,
and then he shut it off,
and then I watched it again. And that's what I meant. I watched it twice.
The first scene twice.
It was only 5 minutes. This movie, right? Yeah.
For some, to masturbate.
So yeah, that's how they kick off the movie. Just a fucked up death that I can't say I've ever seen in a film before.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And plus, I mean, she's secluded, and I'm wondering what goes through his mind. Is like he knows now he's gained that information that nobody is going to miss her. Nobody knows where she is. She hasn't told anybody because she told him that her parents don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So to him, it's just fun and games or experimentation, trying to. I guess when somebody who is unable to feel something, testing certain limits as far as with life. Does it satisfies something, but is it as close to living since they have something in control?
I mean, he's missing something, and this is trying to fill that
Something's
void.
Definitely unplugged up there.
We're losing the sunlight.
I mean, you hear some serial killers talk about they love seeing the light go out of people's eyes, and if let's say this is based on one of the known ways he killed people is choking them out and bringing them back. What a better way to fill that than to get to do it over and over again.
Clap on, clap off.
Yeah.
And you're okay with nudity, right?
No. It's just not for me.
Oh, no, I'm sure they're fine.
All right. Well, we'll be in touch.
Okay. Well, great.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Just have a great rest of your day. Always nice to see you.
Like as well. You too. Okay, Cheryl.
Yeah.
No.
Janet.
Janet.
So we introduced to Cheryl Bradshaw, played by Anna Kendrick. She botches her audition, or rather the casting agent kind of botches Cheryl for not
Our first timey-wimey event.
Yeah, she didn't show them titties.
She won't show titties.
Yeah.
But they're fine. They're sure they're fine under there.
Yes. That's what they say.
Anna Kendrick?
Yeah.
She's been naked.
Not in this movie.
Yeah, we were just talking about how they were giving
the
her
two
the
casting
audition at the
directors.
beginning.
They were kind of being.
We're talking about the movie now, John. I don't know if you know how this podcast works.
No, one of my employees quit, so I'm dealing with that at the moment.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. So that's what's going on over here.
This is how you know multitasking does not work.
Not right now.
She's not losing a baby, is she? And boyfriend leaving? Is
no.
Wow. Don't go off with the photographer.
I'll cut that.
Do not go after the photographer. Yeah, so Anna Kendrick doesn't get the part because she won't get naked.
This is what, again, they had to
I just like
deal
how they're
with.
talking about her like she's not there.
Right.
That was my
But they've
part.
done this over and over, whereas they can just easily move on and then grab somebody who is desperate enough to show because it's just run of the mill with them. It's like it's a numbers game. It's like, she's not, no
Plenty
callback.
I just like how they said her name again and she's like, yeah. Oh, sorry. Next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plenty of
Elizabeth
young 20-year-old pretty girls. So yeah, this one won't take her.
And there's
off.
no shortage. There's no shortage in Hollywood and lower Hollywood or
of desperate young girls. Yeah.
Yeah. They're just trying to make it. And she's trying to be a legit actress at this point.
Yeah.
She's not really
Well,
getting
the
much
joke's on her.
callbacks.
Okay. This is
Sort of.
1970s Hollywood.
Sort of.
Have you ever seen Once Upon a Time?
You know, so now we go to her apartment after this.
So
this is a fun little bonus that I didn't realize was in here was Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
How'd it go?
Yeah, not that great, I don't think.
What? You're kidding me.
Yeah, I know. I made you run all those lines with me again for nothing.
Okay, no, acting is never wasted time. I was acting, you were acting, actors act.
He shows up. He's one of her neighbors.
Yeah. Terry.
I kept expecting him to talk like this.
Every time. Plays a Batman character on YouTube.
So he's sort of the longing friend who kind of wants more of a relationship with Cheryl.
If that was a cruel ploy, sign me up for another. I poked you back.
Yeah. I don't blame him. If I had a hot neighbor like that was...
You tamed my monster with your mouth.
So the
and two other places in an order that would surprise you. Ass mouth badge.
So dude lives in an apartment complex as an actor himself. And I don't know if desperate is the right word. He's not necessarily desperate.
He comes off that way.
He definitely comes off that way.
And needy.
I feel like he's a very fun. Yeah, needy is probably better.
Yeah.
I feel like I mean, obviously he definitely has something for her, but he's the nice guy.
I could see his boner through his pants the whole scene. So
that was a boner double.
I don't think so. Pete Holmes has a boner at all times.
Oh.
He also has good X-Men videos online too.
You're fired. You're fired.
You're so fired.
I did the Batman.
Yeah, you did Batman. I have a motorcycle.
So anyways, Cheryl, she tries to be a people pleaser. And I think that is also her downfall too, because she's not willing to concede to certain things. Oh, I guess she does here and there. But if she would just be upfront and honest, I think she would bypass a lot of the bullshit that kind of falls her way.
Don't we all, though? Like, I bet we all wish we could be a little more honest.
Right. But I mean, she seems more like...
I don't know. I feel like it should be less honest.
That's true. I do feel that way too. I would definitely talk too much sometimes.
She, again, probably feels a little bit more like regretful because she wants bigger things for herself. Like she's trying to break it in. No. Anyways, homeless girl who has a bit of a desperation, wanting better things, sleeping on benches and stealing candy from the laundromat.
Wake up! Can't stay here. Let's pack it up.
Yeah, okay.
Let's keep it moving.
Amy.
And coins.
Yeah, played by Autumn Best. And she stole like $2 in quarters after someone.
Yeah, so, what a disappointing steal. And then to get chased off like that.
In 1970?
Yeah, that's like
adjust for inflation.
That's like $4. I mean, she still get it looks like a pack of cigarettes with it, so she's probably happy because she's smoking in the next scene.
Technically, it was a $1 discount.
Oh yeah, that was yeah, that kind of
she's only been in 2 things.
Threw you off like because I didn't notice her hand until I think she was holding the book, photo album.
Same.
And I was like,
oh, she's missing some digits.
She's only got 2 fingers there. Interesting.
Is that real life though?
Yeah, it is. She's actually. Oh no, it doesn't. I don't think the person that he abducted. I believe she has all her digits.
No, I meant the actress. Does she really have? Oh, okay.
She is a person who pushes a lot of the. What is it? Limb. There's a.
Oh, like a.
What? You just like point at your computer at this point.
So like SAG, but like one for disability people.
Yeah, let me just call.
Well, she's only been in 2 things: a TV show and this.
She was good. I liked her.
She's very good.
She's represented by Paradigm and SAKS and Saks.
Fifth Avenue.
She has limb difference. She's a passionate advocate for creatives with disabilities and looking forward to writing and developing projects to highlight the disabled talent.
Nice.
So she's that's the word.
That's
advocate.
cool, but let's
advocate.
That's
the word he's looking for.
That's cool that she's advocate for it, but like, are you really disabled? You're missing a couple fingers.
Yeah, she can't flip anybody off. That's pretty disabled.
I mean, she's still able to do like everything.
She can do this.
Everything.
She can do this.
Maybe I wonder if it's her. I don't think it was her dominant hand. I think it was. It didn't.
It was her left hand.
Yeah. Well, we don't know which one's her dominant, but it didn't.
That's true.
She didn't act like that was her dominant hand. Now I'm just picturing all her scenes. Going on.
You're picturing
Anyways,
her naked. Go on.
Well, she was cute.
She was cute. She was very cute.
For a 15-year-old.
Well, yeah, in the movie.
She's not 15.
She's not
supposed
that
to be the
in real
15-year-old
life.
who gets, she's
Yeah,
not
in real life. 15-year-olds in movies are really like 85. Have you ever seen Spider-Man 1?
Yeah.
They're all in their 30s.
Yeah.
Really?
That is so funny. Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, and
John Travolta.
Flash.
They're in high school.
John Travolta.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't high school. So Amy stashes away.
I guess those are supposed to be high schoolers, huh?
Right? It's ridiculous.
Huh. Anyway.
But you know, you just play along with it because it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Can I help you with something, buddy?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just saw you sitting there. The light is perfect. You're beautiful. What? Did I say something?
Dude, I look pretty fucking far from beautiful right now.
What are you talking about? You're gorgeous. You got this like a Linda Mance thing going on.
I don't know who that is.
She was in that movie, Days of Heaven.
Well, consider me fucking swimped.
Amy stashes away under some apartment stairs, and guess who shows up?
Is it Rodney?
Emilio Estevez.
That's not who shows up.
No.
Yeah, Rodney.
No, Ryan's. No.
Rodney with the camera capturing the lighting off her face from beneath the stairs. He's like, got that perfect, the way the light strikes you.
Strikes
Stuff
you?
Like he didn't say any of that.
He just saw
there was
sad young woman and was ready to pounce.
Something appealing about like the gloom that is gracing her face and all that. Kind of a sprinkle of like radiance and yeah.
You instantly feel bad for her because you're like, oh, she seems like a nice kid.
Right.
So you ever done any modeling before?
Dude, I'm broke as shit. So whatever you're trying to sell me...
I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm serious. There's this photo contest that I want to enter, and I've been looking for a subject. I think you'd be perfect for it.
So he like compares her to other beautiful actresses, and she sort of takes the bait. Mm-hmm. She's a runaway. And this is kind of what I'm assuming is her saving grace, is because she's a runaway, because she's lived this dangerous life, that she's known how to navigate murky waters like this. Mm-hmm. So in a situation of after being raped, traumatized, left in the middle of nowhere with this guy, this is going to be the, I have to remain calm. And
yeah, she got that
that's crazy
chameleon attributes from being homeless.
Right.
Able to play along with the situation.
Right.
I think I can maybe just beat you to the punch a little bit here.
I'm rambling. You go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I'm working really hard and I'm accomplishing very little. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing in LA anymore.
Oh, lots of people go through that.
Right. Hell, and I can barely afford my rent.
Hold that thought. Cheryl, honey.
Yeah.
Okay, sweetie. You know the ABC studios
Yeah.
where they shoot all those. You know the one.
The stages in the valley.
Yeah. Well, I booked you a guest spot on a TV show.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you bet. Friday.
Right, but I didn't audition.
You didn't have to. I sent them your resume. They think you're perfect.
What's the show?
So Cheryl made a break by getting booked on a dating game show. No audition. Her cutthroat agent pretty much.
I think her agent just said she was on the show.
And this is the fucking thing that I hate about like agents. You know, I used to
just one thing.
Yes, all that. Not secret agents.
Secret agent.
Okay. Anyway,
but yeah, pretty much wave this over her head like that. You know, you have this project that we can submit you in. It's like, well, they just run through people on this TV show. You don't need to be anybody. You can,
right.
But she thinks it's going to be like a big break because who was the other actress? Was it like Farrah Fawcett or somebody who was on it?
Farrah Fawcett.
I mean, her manager did a good job of convincing her it could be a big break.
This is the bullshit thing about agents that I could not stand. It's like when I was attached to a talent agency here, it's like I had an agent, and after a while I was like, fuck, you guys aren't doing anything for me. Like you'll sit on work and then you'll play favorites with the people who probably pay extra.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're like, I haven't found anything. I'm like, there's always something going on, especially in areas that have high art in the surrounding areas. It's like Omaha is one of the booming ones, Kansas City's close by and et cetera. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I got like a few modeling gigs here and there, but it's like, this is kind of BS. Mm-hmm. A few commercial work. And when I went out and scouted my own work, I'm like, this is all I have to do. And it's fucking simple. But no, it was kind of bullshit for her because even towards the end, when she's talking about how like, I'm not even able to make rent, that's when she gets desperate and she's like, I'm about to lose my income here. So, I got this piece for you. I can just throw you this way. It's throwing her a bone.
Yeah.
It's like, she doesn't need you though. But yeah. So day of shooting.
There's a little jadedness behind your voice.
A little bit. It comes real. So she meets with her agent who pretty much tries to be over accommodating. I don't know if that was her agent. I assumed that was one of the show.
I think that was one of the producers.
One of the showrunner.
I think it was
the one that like does her makeup and stuff and tells her like, hey, just do whatever the fuck you want. That's an underrated character in that movie. Yeah. She is a great person.
But speaking of the producer rocking her around though, asking her, do you want a water? I don't know why, but and it's just like, yeah, you already asked me that. I don't know why that cracked me up. I just thought it was one of the funnier lines in the film.
But yeah, she's trying to be like over accommodating. But it's like, you don't give a fuck about this person. You're just trying to get the show to go on. Mm-hmm. And then you say the same recited lines that you said over and over and over again with other, starlets who've come through. But yeah, so she's playing somewhat authoritative. Agents and producers, I guess, they try to earn their credibility by being in the business and moving pawns around. So talent agents are pretty much the car dealers of the industry. They wait for someone to complain and then they throw them a bone. That's kind of what happened with her. Mm-hmm. So Cheryl sort of gets the realization that nobody listens to her. The other guys came in and started talking her up. Acting is such a task to her when she sort of wants something real. I don't know that it is clear to her, but it is definitely unsettling that the cameras aren't even on. So like when she's sitting in the booth getting the makeup on and they're like, oh, wow. I mean, she's, they're talking her up and she's trying to smile like, yeah. It's like everybody seems to be acting right now, but it's like there's no camera facing you. And yeah, it's fake. You get to realize a little bit the underbelly of how the
TV world.
Yeah, how it runs.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure that's part of their job is you got to boost the
there's some actors
person that's doing the show.
There's some actors who are willing to be tossed around the casting couch and stuff, but it's like when you feel like you're being, and I'm not saying that's what she's doing. That's probably what they're wanting her to do in this area.
Those first two guys, especially.
But some people are willing to put up with it just to go further. But when you have like morals and values and stuff like that, and I feel like she is one who has, I don't know if they're strong morals, but
she's trying.
Yeah.
She's trying.
She's not from the area. I mean, she's from across the way, but yeah, she moved over there to get a career.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the woman of the hour, Cheryl.
Cheryl gets rushed off to get on stage and lights strike and flashes back to 6 years prior to New York City, 1971. Alcala meets an artist woman, Charlie, played by Katherine Gallagher, who unfortunately waved him in to help her move stuff into her place. Over a beer, Alcala reveals that he was taught under Roman Polanski, who also is known for some criminal activities such as drugging and raping an underage girl who was 13. Not at this time just yet, but a few years, probably around the same time that he was caught.
Hey, is this for 2A?
It is.
Okay, great. Here, I'll let you in.
We've been ringing the apartment for 10 minutes.
Sorry, I was in the shower. I didn't hear it.
Tommy, let's go.
What? You're just gonna leave it all out here?
Wish we could help, but we have a schedule to keep.
You've never heard of Roman Polanski?
He's the doorman at the Ice Palace, right?
No. What? No.
Big guy with the tattoos?
No. He's the short guy who directed Repulsion and Rosemary's Baby.
Are those movies or?
What do you mean? You're killing me. I'm trying to name drop here.
Drop away,
I'm
man.
not gonna know because you don't know who I'm talking about, so it's not as impressive. You're fucking with me, are you?
Have I seen Rosemary's Baby? Come on.
What? I don't know. Maybe you don't like scary movies.
Well, I don't like scary movies, but I've seen Rosemary's fucking Baby.
Okay, so I took a class with him at NYU, all right? With Roman Polanski, I mean. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Very impressive.
It's unfortunate for this woman that she was obviously using this man because she messed up, missed her moving guys, and so they left all her furniture on the
lot,
the front door or whatever. And it looks like she's up a few floors, and so she just sees a guy that's of a good stature, and she's like, "Well, I can use this guy and flirt and get him to move my furniture for me." So
she had a great rack.
It's just unfortunate.
I just saw the dressers.
I just saw the dressers. It's unfortunate that she got used as well, but like it was not an even using. Like,
not so much.
No, he got her back, but the payment was not.
Payment does not.
It was not. Yeah,
not an equal transaction.
Not an equal transaction.
Well, it could have been really good pussy.
Oh, hold on. Do you know how heavy?
Yeah, how
stuff
heavy was that?
I don't think rape and murder is a good payment for anything.
Well, okay, yeah.
I was like, well, here's where we get canceled.
Don't think you want to argue with me on that one.
Charlie is based off of Crilly, who was the TWA flight attendant. So Rodney Alcala actually did murder her. There was bite marks, ligatures on her body. He has like a very distinctive set of teeth.
He did.
Yes. In the actual guy.
Yeah, I guess I saw a picture of him. He's missing a tooth, but he didn't have a gold tooth or anything.
It looks like it was kind of, there was a missing, but it also looked like there was a
jaggedness.
One went more inwards.
Okay.
So it would be very identifiable.
Yeah.
If somebody took
especially
impressions.
If you bit someone.
I get to go to Egypt next week. I've always wanted to go to Egypt, so I'm very excited. I think at first I was afraid that I was going to get lonely being away from home, but my airline is amazing.
Can I take a picture?
So Rodney Alcala is portrayed as smooth, but at the same time awkward. He's very measured in what he says, very charming, yet his psychopathic tendencies seem to be leading. He was diagnosed with ASPD, antisocial personality disorder, so that explains a bit of his psychological profile. Can I take your picture? Rodney ends up killing her, probably for her performance in The Flash as Nora's best friend, Leah. Did you ever watch that?
No.
What?
The show.
Catherine Gallagher in The Flash.
Oh, The Flash.
Horrible perform. It wasn't. It was okay. It was
Wait, on CW?
Yeah. She was.
I watched like the first 3 or 4 seasons. Who?
She was the daughter, Nora, the Flash Nora's best friend at the time, who died by, what's his name? He pretty much put his hand inside of her body.
Interesting.
Not the good way. So this movie did things slightly in reverse, where they kept the suspense before exposing the contestants. And on the actual show, as I said earlier, the very first person who was introduced was Rodney, whereas they brought Cheryl out first, the woman of the hour. You know, good touch on suspense, I think, for sure. Especially for those.
Was her kind of freaking out right before they show her?
Whoa.
Like that. I felt that in my soul. I was like, oh, I would be so nervous.
That still adds to the suspense or the nervousness.
Mm-hmm.
But in the actual show itself, Rodney was the very first person who was introduced. You get introduced to all the other 3 players. You're supposed to get introduced to the woman contestant last.
Oh.
But for those who are not familiar with the events, they introduced him last, kept him in the shadows. And I like that. I thought that was a good touch.
Build it up.
Although the actual Cheryl seemed to be enjoying herself, whereas Kendrick's at first, she was a little bit more timid and just trying to.
She didn't want to play
the
dumb woman.
Yeah, a little bit. She seemed unprepared for sure.
Yeah, the show was kind of beneath her. I'm sure she felt at first.
Well, that's what I meant by her directing that as a more woman power thing.
Yeah.
When I don't think that situation was. She was like, "This is beneath me, and this is this," and I don't know. That's where I said it was woke. Yeah. Because I feel like if any girl was on that game show, it's just for fun. They know that, especially if they're an actress.
On the actual game show, it did seem like it was all fun.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
For
I see your
here,
point.
they were getting direction to.
I was waiting until we got to that part.
Hi, Cheryl. Pleased to make your pleasure. Pleasure to meet your.
Save that talk for the day.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
There we go.
3rd time's a charm. Bachelor number 2.
Hello, Cheryl. Hello. If you want to groove, pick number 2.
Oh, God, is he stuck like that?
We'll have to find out. And would you please say hello to Cheryl, Bachelor number 3?
We're going to have a great time together, Cheryl.
In the audience, Laura, played by Nicolette Robinson, immediately recognizes him, giving a reaction of something traumatic.
Her boyfriend's a douche.
Sort of. Kind of an asshole.
No, a lot.
No, a little bit.
A lot.
No, he was trying to follow his parents.
I wavered in between. You're kind of a jerk, but you're you're just wow. You say
he wasn't informed.
The wrong things at the wrong time, and so
he was also trying to see the positive, I think, in the situation. But
he wasn't informed. He knew of this person, but he doesn't know everything, and so he was trying to
I'll take back my harshness for now.
But anyways, so Laura, she kind of skirts out of there, knocking over a monitor set, which grabs the attention of Cheryl, and they have this little glance at each other, and I was like, well, Cheryl's kind of under the lights, so I don't know if she actually sees her or locks our eyes, but she knows the direction.
No, she went like this. She could see.
And I feel like, in that moment, she probably sensed the fear on this woman's face. And so it might have spoke something to her, but I think being under the lights, being the center of attention, she kind of has to compartmentalize that. And because she doesn't know anything. She's uninformed. Laura didn't say anything right there.
Right. Did that happen in the real show?
No,
too?
I don't think so. No,
I don't think so. Yeah, that's why I was like. But I meant to do this during my break today, but I did not get a break today.
If that would have happened in the real show, they wouldn't have broadcast that.
Right. But
Oh,
I didn't
that's
know
true.
if it like, I don't know.
I mean, I think that's what they're insinuating is that on some level, Anna Kendrick's character gets that photosynthesized into her body. Like whether she realizes it or not, it's like that fear is a little bit in her.
Right. Well, I mean, with
I should
almost
be on
every
high alert.
With almost every
yeah.
male introduced into this already, her experiences hasn't been so favorable. Although, I mean, like even with her with Terry, with Pete Holmes, it's like he's not the worst person there is. But I mean, again, I've heard some other people who are critiquing this saying like he was a piece of shit. I'm like, he's not.
No, I think he was just needy, and this is where you talked about her like sometimes holding her ground. She obviously does not want a relationship with him, but she gives into it.
But
she doesn't want to lose her friend. It seems like
she should be very open with that. And it's like when you lead somebody on, and this is kind of like the whole nice guy syndrome, which is kind of stupid. I think a lot of guys start off like this before they become more jaded. Yeah. But it's like I feel like he's had relationships in the past that never works out. And then he can't help but take it out on the person after a while. You know? And he didn't blow up on her. And I feel like she gave in to him. What later they
insinuate she slept with him.
Chaka
that night. After she turned him down, she later on
is a pity fuck.
A pity. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of round one, and I think we're going to hear from our sponsors.
But anyway, so police show up at Rodney's work where he's showing off pics, name dropping big names like Warren Beatty. This is the second time he's done this already. He named dropped Polanski, and now he's naming dropping, taking pictures at Warren Beatty's house.
Yeah, I met her at Warren Beatty's house.
Warren Beatty's house. Listen to this fucking guy. And her parents let you take this?
Let me. They paid me.
No.
I feel like that's one of the things that he leads with, whereas it sort of elevates him knowing that people of status are kind of on the same level, are right there in the same spotlight, polishes his own social standing.
Yeah. Because when the cops show up and everyone starts talking behind his back and he's devastated and goes to the bathroom and is bawling his eyes out. It's obvious. He's like, oh, my status symbol just got crushed. Like I am down at the bottom of the totem pole again.
Maybe, or something, he has a tail. This is the first time that we see that he is being followed up on, because I'm assuming what he was being investigated for was at least maybe even the flight attendant lady or one of the many other
I took it as that was them following up on the beach lady, the one that black girl's friend that died.
Possibly.
That's how I took it.
It could have been any.
It could have been any
because
of them. Yeah.
Again, this only showcases three or four,
yeah.
But he's had at least 8 confirmed, and I'm pretty sure there's a large evidence on many of the others.
Yeah.
Including the 2 after he was released.
Yes.
That shit.
And his mom was the one who bailed him out. That was what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
You're going to believe your boy didn't do it.
After all that, I guess they probably didn't put him into therapy. Mommy was therapy.
Yeah, it sucks though that he went off.
He's probably breastfed until he was like 3.
But yeah, no, in the restroom, it kind of seems that he's had a bit of shame because he's done this a few times too until the very end, where it's like even looking himself in the eye, he can't do it. He can't hold a gaze with his own eyes. It's like
he doesn't seem to like who he is. So even though even though he's trying to fill a void by these murders,
right? It's like
doesn't seem like he
knows
overall,
he's doing
he doesn't
wrong.
Enjoy it. Overall, he's not happy with who he is. It seems like
it's an avoidance of action.
He hates that he enjoys it. I think.
Maybe
that's kind of where
I think that's where.
that could be it.
Where he's at.
So Mario, Rodney's fellow employee, he's the true bad guy here. Did you see the way that he lied to Rodney in the bathroom? He's like, I can't.
It's true, dude.
I can't show up.
That was I don't know. I think that whole thing was unnecessary.
No,
I think if you took it out.
But he exited the bathroom without washing his hands.
Oh God,
that's fucking disgusting.
I think
despicable, unforgivable, even
around someone that you feel uncomfortable now.
Yeah, he's in this job passing out papers to everyone with this nasty ball sweat. Makes Rodney Alcala look like a fucking saint.
We did later see that there was a picture and a photo of him of this kid though, so it makes you wonder.
Oh, yeah, that was him. Oh, he did meet back up. Huh?
Yeah, because you assume they met back up after that, after all, and probably got killed.
Right. So at this point, we're wrapping up loose ends with Laura here. We kind of finally see where she was the best friend of Allison, a victim of alcoholism, which Laura found dead in Allison's room after a period of no contact.
Allison! Al, are you in there? Hey, Al, I've been calling for a while. I'm just a little worried about you. Okay, I'm gonna use the spare. Now, I'm coming in, okay? If you're in there, I'm coming in.
Laura kind of went to go knock on the door, and she's like,
Hey.
what the fuck are you doing? I haven't seen
you.
What's up? So
Why are you bleeding all over this bed? You know how much that's going to cost?
Never get their deposit back.
Never.
Yeah. Allison was one of the 5 victims tied to the Cali murders.
Too small. Seriously. Anything under a C cup? Can't do it. What about her?
What about her? You haven't seen her yet. What if she's petite?
I'll let her blow me.
No, you won't.
I won't? And why is that?
Because I always get the girl.
So yeah, I always get the girl.
I guess he does.
He was, again, very calculated with things. He was letting the other two kind of do their locker room talk.
I wonder how many victims, if any, had ever gotten away from him at that point, or if literally that's why he said that, is because he literally has always gotten every single one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never know, obviously.
One of my favorite lines in this was another one of the male producer. He's like, lady, stop messing with her hair. I know you're not doing anything.
Yeah,
you're barely touching her.
I know you're not even.
In place, everyone! Ladies, stop messing with her hair. I know you're barely touching her. We're ready for you, Mr. Birch.
That and when the ladies were talking about which guy you're going to pick, and, they were like, it just comes down to which one's going to hurt me next.
Right.
And I'm like, well, that's so true with relationships. Like, you are picking someone that you're going to allow to give the possibility to hurt you.
Right. Vulnerability,
The vulnerability, yep.
I know we're all frustrated with commercial breaks, but how long was this fucking commercial break?
That made no sense. This can't be live because,
Laura went to her car and it was light out. And then during that break, she's still in the car. When we get to her, I guess, inside the car.
I never thought that show was live, was it?
It can't
I don't think
be.
so.
I don't. It can't
broadcast
be,
it. But yeah. So when Laura made the scene leaving the car, it was daytime. When her boyfriend Ken comes out to the car, it's night. It was. Is the sun kind of a pro?
It was in the wintertime.
Oh.
So it was 4 to 5.
There was no snow. There was no snow over there in California.
Never. Is it? What? Shut up.
I did like the Bachelor response, the Bachelor #1, where he's talking about the theory of relativity. He's like, I can't.
Bachelor #1. Einstein said that sitting on a hot stove for a minute feels like an hour, but sitting next to a nice girl for an hour feels like a minute. That was his theory of special relativity. What's yours?
What?
I'll come back to you on that.
Wait, hold on. Was that
Bachelor
the actual
#2?
question?
When you invite a girl out for dinner, what do you expect in return?
I guess that depends on the meal. Are we talking filet mignon or what?
That's a good question, are we?
Yeah, sure. I'm a generous guy.
Bachelor #1, how's that theory of special relativity coming along? Groovy, keep at it. Bachelor #3, what's the difference between a boy and a man?
A boy thinks that buying a woman dinner means she owes him something.
That's not bad. Bachelor #1, any luck?
Keep up, she's going back to
I can't.
That was funny. Then she goes back Bachelor #1. How you doing over there?
For me, this was a very fun part of this.
Yes.
I mean,
that was a bit. Yeah, that was
a bit
the
of
funnest part the
brevity
movie.
to something serious was
right before he's about to murder people. Yeah, it's great.
But yes, no. Again, they did sprinkle a bit of the feminist message in this, tugging at certain things, but not too far. I don't think so. The
tugging
a little bit.
You could argue that was feminist, but at the same point, I took it to heart. Yeah, that's true. I felt like that was a full sexes could fall behind that.
But it's not going to. The feminists of today tries to aspire for a superiority type of thing. In this movie, they're not pushing that. They're kind of skirting on the lens of certain things. And again, going back to the lady's line of, who's going to hurt me? It's the question underneath the question that still stands. It's which one of you guys is going to hurt me?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if you lead every single relationship with that mindset, you're already setting it up to fail though. I don't know. I feel like most dudes are, and that also sucks because there are assholes out there who are selfish and want to get away with even murder here, but get away with things. And it's like, I guess I've raped as many girls as I've wanted, which was none.
Oh God. Oh God. My eyes got really big right there. Well, I mean, it just comes down to the general stereotype of men and women being very different in what they want in relationships. I would say in general, men want more structure and calmness to their relationship, whereas in general, women enjoy the drama, which is kind of why they like the bad boy, because there's something new happening that's exciting. They kind of like that excitement all the time. So it's kind of interesting that relationships work at all, since we're so different. Like they like that women kind of like that challenge, that excitement all the time. Something's kind of not quite right going on in the relationship, so it gives them something to be excited and talk about, whereas men like the calmness and the structure.
It's like we want peace in our relationship while we have to deal with the world outside. And
so it's real weird that any relationship really works because we're so different. But like I said, I'm speaking in generalities here. Like not every man is that way, but not every woman is that way.
Exactly. But even underneath that, I think most relationships, both sexes, pretty much just want connection. So
boy, I hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so too. What am I doing?
What are we doing here?
So, who are you going to pick? Oh, knock it off. What? I'm just asking.
Do you think I went too far?
I think he thinks you went too far. He thinks everything is too far.
Yeah, but do you, though?
Honey, I've been on this show since 1968, and I've seen more idiots flirting back and forth than I can count. The one thing I've learned is, no matter what words they use, the question beneath the question remains the same.
All right. What's the question?
Which one of you will hurt me? Which one of you will hurt me?
So, yeah, she ended up picking the serial killer.
Oh, yeah. So all the while, Laura is trying to get eyes on Rodney by trying to speak with the producer. Someone higher up can speak to something there. It's like she's going around the lot. She exits the car finally. Actually, she kicked out her boyfriend, Ken, because he wasn't really listening. But then again, she wasn't doing a good enough job of explaining.
She was dealing with a lot, though.
Yes.
And he was completely out of the loop. He wasn't feeling what she was feeling. So
right. It's like he knows of this person, of her friend, but I don't think he knew any detail. Yeah. So he couldn't sympathize with anything. And she pretty much booted him out before he can get into the know.
Yeah, this is where I felt bad for him. I mean, he wasn't the perfect boyfriend. And, you know, he kind of, when he was kind of trying to make her, he was trying to make her feel better. But in a way, it was kind of condescending that he was like, well, you're only 90% sure that that's him. It's probably not him. Like, right. So that's not what she wanted to hear at that point. He was trying to reassure her and calm her down, but that did the opposite. It triggered her because, fuck you, I know who that's the guy that murdered my friend. Fuck you, get out of my car.
Right. Again, he doesn't know the extent of what happened. It's I thought.
Right.
So Agreed. It's like her reaction is, I'm not going to say it's unnecessary because what she was feeling, I mean, she was accurate. She was right.
Right.
But if he's going to go off of like probabilities and stuff like that, it's like they departed that morning to have a good day together, you know, with the family and all that. And it's like he still wants to continue that, and he, give her a
wants
sense
to
of
calm
ease.
the situation. Yeah. There we go. It comes down to that. We like calm. Men like, well, let me just smooth this over, and we can go back and have fun again.
Right.
Yeah. I felt bad for him because, you know, he's going to get out of the car and he's going to go in and be confused of why she got all upset. And he's going to think about it the next few nights and go to her with flowers the next time he sees her. Try to make up for something he's not quite sure what he did wrong.
I want this cunt out of here. I never want to see your fucking face again.
I know, I'm sorry, sir.
Get this cunt out of here. That was a pretty fun line. It's like after the...
Oh, yeah. After Anna was finished with the show. And
Get this cunt out of here.
Yeah.
What is it? What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. I'm trying to do what Ed said. Just feels a little weird.
Oh, fuck Ed. I mean, no disrespect, but fuck him. This isn't a sitcom. You're not coming back next week. What's Ed gonna do? Fire you? You're supposed to be having fun. That's the whole point. So just be yourself. Say whatever you want.
And the way that she's like talking, like, "Oh wow," and, the other producer is just trying to see her off.
Just
Is like
trolling with them a little.
Oh,
now.
do we go here? Okay, yeah.
Thank you so much again. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Right,
This way?
Yeah, just go
Okay.
down this way.
Oh, got it.
Okay.
I thought it went really well.
I think so too. All right, now safe travels. We'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I did like. So we kind of skipped ahead. She picks the serial killer. They win a trip to Florida, I think. But what I liked when the douchebag, the second contender, was walking out, he whispered in her ear, "Watch out for that asshole."
yeah.
So that was kind of cool, like a little nice throw.
There was a encounter before. So Rodney is pretty much eating off the floor again here. I did like this whole exchange where he's putting the bachelor number 2 in his place for the way he was like ratting him out with like the bra size and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if it wasn't,
He ain't wrong though.
if it wasn't,
or no.
Oh, jeez.
if Rodney, if he wasn't much of what's the word?
Serial killer?
Murder. Yeah. Amongst other things. I'd be rooting for him like in this situation.
Yeah, he said all the right things.
Yeah. I mean, just to the contestant number 2, the private,
when he was
the
kinda
private
like
conversation,
scaring him a little,
where he gave him a picture of one of his previous friends.
Yeah, victims that.
But then, like,
bondaged up.
He took it and he ate it. I mean, like,
that was weird.
Are you supposed to eat that Polaroid ink? Like,
oh,
doesn't that do something to you?
That was a double whammy. I think he did that, 1, just to freak him out, and 2, he's like, well, I can't have this picture existing anymore and have him use it against me.
Right.
But why do people do that? As far as like guys, where before when the 3 guys were pretty much alone and they're kind of going off of each other, and look at the rack on her, and is it just to fill space or to find something to talk about? And
maybe, and that's like the only thing we know
others?
how. That's one of the
perverts, and girls do it too, where they're just less. They get open about it.
Yeah,
I feel like they're open about it, but they get passes.
To themselves.
They get a pass on things because
men are pigs.
Yeah, it's like girls are pigs too.
They are.
I'm a pig.
Little oinkers. And we just lost both female listeners.
But it's like, I don't know. I think it's just an easy conversation to have with men that you don't know, because we know all, for the most part, all men like women's bodies.
Firewood.
Women's spotties? Bodies. Okay.
What?
I misheard.
So I
something.
think you might be onto something. It's just our go-to.
Is it just pretty
how's
much
the weather?
Is it
How's
pretty
the
much just like
boobs?
appealing to our natural biology?
Yeah,
for the most part, it's like,
It's
that's
just
something to talk
it's carnal
about.
in us.
Yeah,
it's that locker room talk. Anyone who acts like locker room talk is not a real thing is delusional.
But there's the white knights who are like, that's bad. You should never talk about that. It's like, well, I've talked about that.
Well, those are guys that are trying to simp for ladies.
They do that. They become the nice guys who use women more maliciously.
They're trying to
like
get
Bachelor
sex.
number 3.
They're trying to get sex just in a different way.
Yes.
They're still just as.
It's like, I'm just going to wait.
Just as horny as every other guy. They're just doing it.
And the girls fall for that one more.
They're like, oh, your boyfriend has been.
And then they're like,
you guys
"Wait,
are going through
guys
some
are
stuff.
such an assholes. Yeah, you literally fell for the guy doing an asshole routine.
Do you want to come over and talk?
No.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So Anna's character walks off, gets pushed out of the set because they're over her shit, which was so funny. Rodney finds her out there in the parking lot, says, "Hey, we should get to know each other. Let's go to this."
Which didn't happen. She never actually went on a date with him, but for this purposes, it sort of works. It kind of gives more to it. All the while, Laura's still waiting in the producer area, waiting for somebody to come talk to her.
Yeah.
And it turns out the janitor was the only person. But it's like, back then, when you're waiting in a waiting room or someplace, and you just have to think about the things that you have to say, you don't have a phone on you. You can't bypass the time. It's like, and if you're emotionally elevated like that, it's like, what the fuck are you, going through right now? So you have to sit with those thoughts for a while.
Excuse me? Hi, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm supposed to meet with someone named George Elliott. He's a producer.
Beg your pardon?
George Elliott. He's an executive producer on The Dating Game. Do you know where I could find him? It's very important that I speak with him.
I doubt that very much.
Why?
Because I'm George Elliott.
What?
Let me guess. Security guard out front, he set this up, yeah? He is a real asshole, all right.
You were mentioning, so did they actually win a trip to Florida or somewhere?
Rodney and Cheryl, pack your bags because you're going on an all-expense-paid trip to Carmel, California.
They did win, I believe it was.
And did
Miami
they go?
They didn't go.
They didn't go.
She said, as she left the studio, she just found him to be a little bit creepy. And she's like, I'm not.
She got some feelings from him when
I'm not going anywhere with you type of thing was made.
Yeah.
And after a while, she just kind of got out of like the whole acting thing and started a family.
Okay. Well, in the movie, they kind of go on this makeshift date real quick. They find a hole in the wall kind of bar.
What is this place?
It actually kind of looked like a fun little place.
Yeah,
It looked festive.
Mai Tais and stuff.
Rodney kind of starts giving off bad vibes. She says something that upsets him, and boy, he takes a 180. He goes from this charming fella to, fuck you, bitch. I'm going to fuck you up.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you give us another round? We had the Mai Tais.
Sorry, Miss Lascaux. We're just closing up.
It's a shame.
This was the second savior person in the movie, too. It's like the makeup artist, somebody who is definitely sort of, because during the picking time, they are both, her and the other makeup artist were like, number three. It's like, you set her up with that. But the waitress kind of caught the nod, you know,
like, get me out of this.
Yeah. So
don't give us another beer.
During this uncomfortable conversation, he was like, oh, do you want to, I don't think he asked for one, or asked her for one. He asked the waitress to bring 2 more drinks over, and Cheryl pretty much did like a little
she's had enough.
Shifting type of nod.
Yeah.
And the waitress, I'm pretty sure she has to deal with, dates and their creeps and stuff here and there. She kind of took the message very clearly. It's like, nope, you just missed last call. So none of that.
Yep.
So I guess we have to leave then.
Yeah,
that's
what Rodney says. He's all a little perturbed. And
Well, I guess we'll have to get out of here then, huh?
Don't be like that. So yeah, the security guard who escorted Laura to wait at the Jenner, that was all a joke. Kind of fucked up. How would you prank a security guard back?
Yeah, so I mean,
I'd shit on his desk.
The security guard told her she was going to meet Joe Brown or whatever.
Joe Brown.
The janitor's name was Joe Brown, so that was
not his name.
I don't remember the actual name.
It sounded like
Edwin.
a popular name, though.
Yeah.
It was like Bruce Valanche or something.
Bruce Phalange.
Well, Bruce Valanche was always on Hollywood Squares.
Because I'm George Eliot.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, the janitor was kind of nice about it.
Yeah.
He was kind of like, oh,
He's like,
I'm sorry.
he's like this fucking guy. What can I do for you, though?
Yeah, can I do anything for you? Yeah.
Because he was the person who was the name. She's like, oh, this is his office.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the office that he cleans because he's a fucking janitor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back with Rodney taking a trip with the runaway.
Why don't you spill it out? Where are you from?
Why do you want to know?
Why are you not telling?
Maybe because I didn't fucking like it there?
Okay. So you're a runaway.
Oh my god. You make me sound like I'm Oliver fucking Twist. I'm independent.
Your folks, they must be worried.
Cammy's too loaded to worry about anything.
What about your dad? Where's he at?
Who knows? He took off when I was a kid.
That must have been tough. Growing up without him.
Oh, please. When did your dad walk out on you? Did you ever try to find him?
No. I'm afraid I'd kill him.
It's amazing how one selfish asshole can fuck up your entire life. Yeah.
What is this?
It's chocolate.
What's it for?
It's Valentine's Day. You're my Valentine.
She makes a comment. It's amazing how one selfish asshole can fuck up your entire life. I think that comment
after fuck.
Yeah. I think that comment for the writing was
George Eliot.
That's
the name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Custodian. George Eliot.
George Eliot. Joe Brown.
George Eliot sounds like real like
It's like, oh,
like
that dude's going places.
yeah.
It's still 2 first names.
Okay, Brian Corey.
I know. But that's what I meant. Like when I said Joe Brown, I'm like, oh,
Brown's not
a first
fucking
name.
first name.
Well, it could be.
Brian's racist.
Brown Joe.
Can't say that. Mikey's got one of those.
Whoa. What does that mean?
He's got a neighbor.
Oh, Brown Joe?
Yeah. Oh, it's Jim.
Jim.
It's not Joe.
GM.
It's Jim.
GM.
But anyway, so she makes this comment. The 15-year-old.
Speaking of Joe, he's on the back of your laptop. Sorry. Joe Simmons.
Oh, okay.
In fact.
Wow, look at that. Okay, I just noticed Justin's fancy laptop stand. He can twist and shout it.
Yep. Do the hokey pokey.
Do the hokey pokey.
You put your left foot in, you take everybody out. Anyways, so she says of
That's
this comment,
what it's all.
it's like says selfish asshole can fuck up your entire life. And I think this comment was supposed to hit Rodney, and it didn't. At least I'm not too sure. Huh?
Yeah, he just kind of.
We'll delve further into that after the review because it's about assholes. I got a little game I want to play with you guys. A very quick game. But anyways,
with our assholes?
That's what I was like, what?
Yes.
What?
So for as rough as the girl Amy is, given a lot of pushback, she gave this chocolate heart for Valentine's Day to him.
Yeah.
Which
It's
I mean,
super
it was sweet.
cute.
It was sweet.
But for somebody who's kind of been hardened on the streets, I mean, I don't know to the extent or what her life was like. I mean, she didn't really have a father figure
And no
to run
backstory.
to. And yeah.
I
So
need
yeah,
more.
he just took it and I don't know that he felt anything for it. He's like, oh, and he just put it straight into his pocket.
Yeah.
He gave it a glance and put it away. But yeah, for someone who can deliver so much sentiments to other people, like he knows the right things to say, but I don't know he knows how to receive the same thing back. I don't think it does anything for him.
I like your deepness there.
So like he can acknowledge it or notice it like
That's
when it
what he
arrives.
said.
But it's such as like a moment. He can embrace the beauty of certain things. It's like, wow, that's the way that the sun sets on your dead body. Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
The way the light reflects out of your eyes when you die.
But yeah,
matches the sun.
Pretty much a photographer capturing the perfect moment. I mean, like he can identify that, but it's like if somebody were to turn that camera around onto him, it's like, eh.
Speaking of,
because he's ugly
since
on
you've
the
looked
inside
into this,
and the out.
I mean, was he an actual good photographer? Like, did his photography get released after these murders?
The dead body photos did.
Yeah.
To the police.
Shit.
Yeah, but no, like, did his art become popular at all or anything? 'Cause
I'd imagine
that
there's
kinda
been some
happens
markets.
sometimes with serial killers. You know, their stuff becomes popular.
We can
It
ask
do be
AJ.
like that sometimes.
We can ask AJ. Like, I know he likes buying things off of.
Yeah, I just didn't know if he was an actual like good photographer or not. Because like the photos they show when the younger 15-year-old girl is going through his album, they portray
I
it
do
like
wonder-
he is an actual good photographer.
I do
Right.
wonder how many of those pictures were like redone.
Thomas Mangelson's.
That would have been cool if they actually took some of his photos and like really, put him in the film like that.
Or at least redone to make it.
Whether it was real or reimaginings.
But yes, going back to her, it's like, do you think he didn't feel anything in that moment because he already had a plan out for her? Like, do you think that he doesn't know what to do with love due to his own psychopathy? Or do you think it just doesn't register?
I don't think it registered. I think he's already like planning the night out in his head.
Kill you tonight.
Yeah, planning the night out in his head, how he's going to go about doing it.
Then I'm going to eat this.
Yeah, probably.
Nourishment. Back to present day, Rodney and Cheryl in their first outing outside the game show in public. We already talked about that. Bachelor 2 words ring boldly for her, I think, in that whole moment. At least I don't think it rung to her as far as like, this guy's an asshole. It was that shift when then he's like, oh, this guy is kind of a, because he said,
careful with that asshole.
Yeah, so she decides that she's not going to go anywhere with him. He has officially creeped her out.
And I did like the conversation, the being seen speech that he was kind of putting. It's like, I think everybody of wants to be seen.
Yeah.
So outside the bar, they give Rodney her number. And for the second time, a man goes to adjust her hair. So earlier when her and Terry went out before, she kind of like, she jumped and like, oh, it just tickled. And it's like she didn't want any sort of forward
advancement.
Yeah. But with him, she didn't move. And I think that was probably because fear was setting in.
Yeah.
It's kind of instinctive for her survival, their survival. It's instinctive for women for their survival that they don't move when I touch them.
Yeah, so she basically
Boy
tells
Scout.
him she's over him. She's going to her car. Leave her alone. And this is where my favorite scene is, where they do the big wide shot of the parking lot. She's kind of at one corner of the screen. He's at the other corner.
Earlier, that fight, flight, or fawn, she was fawning right there, but now she's kind of more into flight mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so then we're panning as she starts walking towards her car, and then he starts walking towards her, and she's like, oh, fuck, he's following me still. And yeah, and he catches up to her, but he's about to overpower her in her car, but then some people walk out and save her.
Right. But now she knows she's seen.
Oh. Ooh. And now she knows for sure she ain't going nowhere with this guy.
Get your fucking hand off my car.
When she turns her head and he kind of mumbles under his breath, he's like, fucking bash your head in. It's like, damn, first date. And then you're talking about that,
You told me your number?
I just gave it to you.
Yeah, no, I know. I just want to make sure I have the right one. You know, sometimes the 4s, they kind of look like 9s.
Right. Yeah, just let me see it and
Can't repeat it from memory? So I guess this means we're not really meeting up in Carmel anymore?
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere with you.
All right. Fair enough. Maybe I'll see you around.
Yeah, maybe.
You get your fucking head bashed in.
What?
So yeah, a suspenseful follow chase happens on the way to her car. Laura's boyfriend comes back to apologize with some daisies and takes her to the police department to make a report, and police are being a bunch of dum-dums.
And I don't know what else to tell. This man, he was on national television.
Look, I don't know who you spoke with. All right?
I don't know who I spoke with either. How many times? You forget. Do your fucking job!
Yeah, not wanting to do their jobs. And I would have I'm a pretty calm guy, but if that had happened to me and one of my friends had been murdered and I'm like, I just saw this guy, we know who he is now. We can get his information from this TV show, assuming he gave real information. But yeah, I would have lost my shit too and been like, just fucking do your jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially
I get it.
Since there's been no movement on the case, I would imagine that she's periodically checked in to see if anything has happened. And it's kind of been, and the guy's like, I don't know who you talk to, so I can't do anything.
It's like, it doesn't
you
fucking
can still
matter.
do something though. The guy is in your fucking backyard.
Yeah.
Playing on a swing set.
But she's just an emotional woman.
She is.
I feel bad for her because you hear these stories all the time back in the
probably
70s that women weren't taken
I also
serious.
would say it's also because she's African American too.
Yeah, that
because
doesn't
they
help.
probably dismissed her even further.
More, yeah.
But then again, it is also LA. It might be a little bit more progressive, but I don't know. I'm not going to speak too much on that. Flashback to Amy. Oh, I guess I don't know. It was flash forward to Amy. So earlier when Amy and Rodney were out in the desert to take some more pictures, he had her turn around. She looked up and then he sort of tackled her.
He speared her.
Yeah. Spear. It was more like, what do you think? Like an edge?
It looked like an edge, so I was like, "Damn, you're spearing her off the edge." Now it couldn't have been too high.
You meant Edge the wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Well, they were on the edge of the cliff too, so
or more like a Goldberg. I think it was more
Glory.
Goldberg. I think. You think
No,
so?
Goldberg is too. That would have killed her.
Probably more of a.
It's probably
What is
Bobby
it,
Lashley.
Rhino?
No, Rhino's gore is pretty intense as well. It's probably Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, when he spears, he rolls off to the side.
Gotcha.
So I feel like he kind of speared her and rolled off to the side.
Well, he had to go more upward because she was uphill. Do you think the side? I think it's just a basic.
You think
edge.
it took him so long because he was like, "Where the fuck do I put my camera down?"
That's we shouldn't do that.
No.
Well,
anyways,
people died.
So
she comes back to.
Amy is coming to.
He does come to as well.
But she doesn't know what just happened. I mean, she's probably slowly
he's crying.
regaining.
Yeah,
she's
crying.
slowly
Face
regaining
down
her
crying.
her consciousness. I'm pretty
She's
sure
like,
she can feel her body is different,
Violated.
dirty,
Well, yeah, because
violated.
her pants are pulled down.
Her hand in half is bound.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah, I mean, you ain't wrong. Hand and a half.
pants are around the ankle. Rodney is crying beside her.
That's how I woke up yesterday.
Is this a Tuesday?
Yeah.
That's how I wake up.
I just wanted to make a dumb joke.
Yeah, and so this is where that brave girl figures out
Very
like,
smart of her.
how
Super
to
smart.
play into it and like to play like she doesn't want him to tell anyone about what happened last night. Things got out of control. I don't want anyone to think anything badly of me.
Play it.
Hey. Hey, are you okay? I guess things got pretty crazy last night. Do you think that you could do me a favor? Do you think that you could not tell anyone about this? Please? I would just be so fucking embarrassed. You know how judgmental people can be. Thank you. So, do you want to go back to your place?
That.
And so she played into him like and still went along with like let's be boyfriend girlfriend.
Right.
We just got a little carried away.
She's
No big
pretty
deal.
much doing what he's done to other people, where she is dropping his
the
defenses.
manipulator.
Yeah. And again, it's because of the street smart type living off the, she did the grimy life. I don't know if she's encountered anything as rough as this, but I would assume somebody like her might have been under the target of other people at one point.
I mean, being homeless,
but
and a woman can't be easy.
Many healthy individuals,
cripple,
traumatized by something like this, these series of events, the attack, the rape, etc. She calmly took his guilt or shame into herself. Like, since he's crying, she kind of went to blame herself on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that was the very first time anybody has ever done something like this where it disarmed him totally.
Yeah, threw him off. He played it off like very well that he was just thrown off by it and kind of was like, oh, okay, let's go along with this.
Yeah, because he has his own guilt inside too.
Yeah.
That he's struggling with, and somebody relieved him of that.
Right.
So
it's like he knows how to charm other people's, and then
Right.
she charmed him of his own transgressions. So she made it seem as though she would not talk about it, or if he doesn't, they would just forget about it happened and
Mhm.
get out of there. And it's like, she's like, let's just keep it the secret. I'll be really fucking, you said that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. I just played that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they take off and he stops at a gas station.
No, it stops at that stop sign first.
Right.
And I thought she was going to get out of that car right
right.
there. I thought she was
Yeah.
going to just bolt.
Do
for
you
that
feel,
guy.
and I feel this is probably like a director thing or writing. I don't know if there's two different ideas I think come to this. This could be a getaway, seeing the other guy, but the way that she didn't really react much is she looking at the other guy as a potential threat as well.
Possible.
I think she's calculating her chances of this working and it's just not good enough to give it a shot yet. It's
because-
one other guy, she could try getting out and the other guy just freak out and drive off right away.
Or he could be as bad as he
could be
is.
as bad as,
That is the
yep,
undertones
yep.
I get from this entire movie is almost every single male figure is a potential bad guy.
True.
But not a bad guy.
You know, I hate
Rodney's
that,
a bad
I hate that that's a stereotype that
It sucks.
most men have evil in them, but boy, we're not doing a good job of proving otherwise sometimes. I feel like
It's with anything though. It's like we judge a lot of people because of the loudest, like look at
Yeah.
the parties and stuff like that. It's the loudest ones that get hurt, not the majority, the herd, not the majority. It's like you see some ratchetness and then you label an entire culture of certain things. You're like, that's not everybody though. But
Yeah.
it's like as guys ourselves, it's like, yeah, I know you see certain people like clutch their purse, like, or it's, I know what I look like. I'll fucking cross the street, whatever, I can't do anything about it. It's like, I'm always labeled a bad guy no matter how much I go out for other people. And it's understandable because you cannot always spot the bad guy.
And for me, the reason I say that, like, it's unfortunate that we haven't done better is just, I don't know if I know a single woman that hasn't been sexually assaulted. Single woman I know has had some sexual assault happen to them.
Right. And I don't want to dismiss that, but I feel like it also robs people who've been severely traumatized because I've known people who were like, somebody looked at me and I felt raped. I'm like, no,
Yeah, it's
you're
not the same. I'm
you're
talking
watering a
about-
lot of this shit
yeah.
down. You're making other people, you're
Yeah.
trying to leech on.
I'm talking about literal touching.
Yeah.
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 And to be fair, I feel like I know, like, I feel like 50% of men I know have been sexually assaulted as well. So
it's just men don't report it as much.
Right.
And
But
plus,
it's just
nobody's
like-
going to do anything for us anyways.
That's what sucks. And so, like, one, I hate that there's this mentality of all men suck, all men are evil. I don't like that because I don't consider myself one of those men. But I have a hard time arguing with it when
Right.
I don't know if I know a single female that hasn't been sexually assaulted.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. But we kind of went off subject here. So, anyways,
bit.
they stop at
At the
after
gas station bathroom.
And I think this is where Rodney, he's washing his hands and he kind of wakes up.
Yeah. This is the longest gaze he held onto his own reflection, too. It's like,
yeah, this is where he's like, oh, fuck.
You know, most people don't like to be seen. They're afraid because you have to be comfortable with yourself. You have to stop performing. I never hide who I am.
Nope, we can't. No, I have to go back and kill her. I can't let her. I fucked up. But when he goes back to the car, it's too late. She has run away, and like half a block away is a restaurant. So
And
she booked it to the restaurant.
Conveniently, the police were just down the street. So yeah, no, at the gas station bathroom, he uses the restroom again and is unable to look himself in the eye. So under the antisocial personality disorder, the SPD, both sociopaths and psychopaths are branched, typically are used interchangeably, but there are some distinctions. For Rodney, it appears emotionally he falls under the psychopath and a sociopath, depending on the relationships, but more of a psychopath on behavior patterns and social integrating. I don't think he feels remorse about his actions, which both typically do not experience, sociopaths and psychopaths. And it assumes his root cause could be either psychopathic, like a genetic issue, or a sociopathic, like a traumatic issue caused by his environment, being that he wants to kill his dad. But I think he doesn't much like himself. It's like when he asked Amy about her parents or her dad, stuff like that, it's like she hasn't seen him. And then she returned the question and he's like, I'd fucking kill him. So I'm assuming there was a traumatic event that kind of maybe off-kiltered him. It could also be genetic.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't know how his mom is. I mean, he's probably been a mama's boy, which kind of also maybe helped him know how to talk more to women to appeal to their desires.
I feel like after I saw this movie, I did hear that someone said nothing ever traumatic happened to this killer.
Gotcha.
That, like, it didn't make sense.
So it could have been just genetic?
Seemed like it was something off on him. Yeah, genetic or screw missing.
Fucking bitch.
Get on the fucking ground! Tony, go back up! Get the cuffs on! Hands off of me! Legs down! Stop resisting! Stop resisting! Let go! David, get him! We're up by mile marker 112. We need assistance. I got him! Okay.
Take a breath. He's done.
She watches the arrest, and a closing credit states that the 13-year-old runaway girl escaped by asking him to keep a secret on Valentine's Day of 79. While waiting trial, he was released on bail somehow, and, well, because of his mom.
Because someone paid
But
him.
I don't fucking, But then again, they didn't know all this stuff
They
that
didn't know.
happened
At this point, they just knew that he had kidnapped someone.
Yeah. And he killed a
And so
21-year-old.
that's why he got bail. I mean, it wasn't like they were like, oh, why did you give him a serial killer bail? Like, why'd you even give him an option?
Right.
Well, at this point, they just thought, oh,
he was just
well, I
an
guess
assault.
they probably an assault. Yeah, they knew he kidnapped her and assault.
Yeah. But yeah, 21-year-old Jill Parenteau and a 12-year-old Robin Samso, he killed them. They didn't have all the details of the crimes until they were rearrested the same year in 79. Dude was reported so many times without any consequences. Eventually, he was convicted on 7 people, women and young girls, but assumed to have up to 130 victims. After 31 years in jail, the young teen, now close to 45 years old, testified and put the nail in the Rodney's coffin, as he said.
Yeah, because
Right,
he
I
was
did
up
see
for
that.
parole, and so she had to go and
She was
testify
like,
at parole.
no parole for you.
It's a story, true one, with liberties. It leaves a lot of the imagination by keeping mostly classy, and I liked that about the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like they could have gone the gore way.
I like when more things are left up to the imagination,
Yeah.
including sex. I do not care for I hate
Unless I'm
long
trying to
sex
get a job
scenes
done.
in well, you got different films for that. In movies, in TV shows, I can't stand when we have a 3-minute sex scene where I, watching half naked people. I'm like, I get it. You're having sex.
Sunday you might be uncomfortable.
But I feel like going the classy route also kind
there
of
are some in that one.
Well, I mean,
again, going the classy route, I feel like that
I'm
kind
just
of
giving you a heads up.
that hinders a little bit of a climax or climactic part. And I don't think every story needs to have like a big climax. It's like this is a open and shut story. It has a beginning, middle, and end, and it's beautifully portrayed. All the actors are there's not anybody who kind of like dropped a ball on anything. It seemed like.
Yeah.
Like I said, I loved it. I really questioned myself giving it a 10 at first because I'm like, is this really a movie that deserves 10? But I just kept going, but I got nothing bad to say about it. Why would I put it at 9 just because
But it's
I'm like
Netflix.
I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, so I just like I was like, that'd be stupid to say 9 out of 10. Well, why is it 9 out of 10? I don't know.
9.5.
I feel like the scoring could have been something more. I feel like it was missing something.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I'm just not scoring
Agreed.
doesn't really like. I mean, yeah, it makes a big difference in films like Avengers and Lion King and stuff like that. But like for movies like this, I don't need a
Why do
big
you look
score.
at me when he says
I don't need a big score for a.
I love scores. That's one of my favorite things in the world is movie scores.
That is one of his favorite. That is one of your favorite things.
You should watch that Bell anime. It's
Go
a
on.
great score.
Huh. All right, let's play a
Wait, you
game.
said that on.
Who's the biggest asshole?
All right, going
It's
into
me.
a game.
We got her.
It's me.
Okay.
All right.
Mario, employee of Rodney, lies to Rodney, didn't wash their hands. Security guard of the dating game show, lies to Laura, plays joke on her and tells it to the janitor. Ken, Laura's boyfriend, didn't read her mind before Laura walked off. Or fight to help her when she was explaining. Yeah. Casting directors, boots Cheryl for not showing them titties. Rodney Alcala, charms, rapes, and murders women. Police detective, won't look into the case because he doesn't know who she talked to the year prior. Cheryl's agent, rakes in Cheryl's money, talks a big talk, only does something when she's proposed to not get paid anymore. And Cheryl, lied to please others. Who's the biggest asshole here?
We have to pick out all those people.
So I'm going to eliminate Rodney from this because I think he's a monster.
Yes.
So that's
exactly,
a different thing. So
that's exactly what I wrote. He's not an asshole. He's
an absolute
He's not
monster.
qualified.
I would say the security guard.
I was going to say the security guard or
Definitely comes to mind first.
or the cops.
Our Mario.
Mario's not
He
even.
didn't
in the
wash
mix.
his hands.
You're obsessed.
Shut up.
That is
He also did number 1. What if he did number 1
It
like
doesn't
30
matter.
minutes ago?
He's passing
and
papers
he's
out to
gotta-
everybody. He could be passing Hep C,
You don't
E.
know if he
coli,
went into his desk and got some hand
norovirus,
sanitizer in 1977.
salmonella off his job. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think you should give him a pass because he's in the fucking bathroom with a serial killer and he's getting bad vibes off of this guy.
Bad.
I would also remove Ken.
Bad.
I'd be really worried the guy was going to bash my head into them.
In a
sink.
urinal? Oh, sink.
So I have this problem. Any movie that there's like a known killer
one,
and they're in the bathroom, I cringe the whole time because I'm like, someone's face is going to go through a sink or into a toilet.
That's
like,
a waste of. Have you ever installed a sink? That fucking shit is expensive too.
What is happening?
Porcelain?
This is why I can't watch horror films though, because I think about how people are going to die the whole time watching it, and
Right.
that messes with me more than the actual movie, and so I can't. That's why I don't like
What
watching
about in
horror films.
Scream when she goes through the dog door in the garage?
I would also remove
Like
the
an
police detective. He's not an asshole. He's just incompetent.
No, he's an asshole.
I would also remove Ken because he's actually being reasonable. He's just trying to fix things and give her a sense of ease, but not allow her to turn things into something.
Yeah,
Fucking
like I said, her reaction was understandable, but it wasn't his fault.
Security guard, he didn't take things as serious as he should, but Laura might have been the a-hole first for interrupting his call with Phil. He was on the phone, and she was an asshole. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm not playing that one.
No?
No.
All right.
No,
Anyway.
he's a huge asshole. He
The
gives her
security
a
guard-
false sense of he's going to do something and then makes her sit around like
He gives her a false sense of security.
yeah. And then, it gives her an unallotted amount
He's
of-
my vote.
Yeah. Fuck
All
that
right.
guy.
Anyway.
I'm still on Mario. Wash your fucking hands.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. We should wash our hands.
Is sanitizer
Fucking
okay?
Rodney washed his hands.
Is sanitizer okay?
That's fine.
Okay, because that's what I just used in your bathroom. I'm allergic to certain soaps, so I just do sanitizer.
Thank you, Brian, for bringing this movie to the. It was good. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
We got an 8.5 on this.
I kind of like this whole, like, I'm not saying I'm going to do it every time, but I kind of like switching it up with like a newer film because all three of my picks that I can remember, assuming I've only had 3 picks.
I looked, you were only 3.
Okay. We're all newer films. So I kind of like that. Like it switches it up because it kind of puts us all over the place.
Well, I'm going to put us back down not new.
Which year?
That was a bad. So it's my turn, right? It's not a 4, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Brian has the 4s.
Yeah, this one is a 4.
Although I am the only one to do 2 in a row because we did.
Jeremy did 1.
Shut up! Don't take this from me.
Sorry. Okay, yeah, you did.
You want me to stop bitching about something? Give it to me.
Oh, did anybody have a favorite, least favorite?
No, I didn't look.
Neither did I.
No.
I'm kind of curious, though.
I literally always forget about that. I think about it every time when I start watching the movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to remember they do this favorite, least favorite. And then
They do this. You are a they.
I know, but I have literally forgotten to do it every time. So
That's
I can't
true,
be part of the they that I'm not a them.
Understood. Well, what do you got?
Do you know what Michael Jackson identifies as?
A hee-hee.
Anyway, so I was all over the place all day. I pulled my boss. I pulled a bunch of people. I have a list. Then I was like,
holy shit.
You know, who should I do? What? Do you have a bad one?
I'm just looking at the first one. 1 out of 10. I think a 5-year-old directed this movie. The premise is great. It could have been a great movie and a great story to cover. They tried to do like a real-life documentary, but they left out important info and focused too much on little details that didn't matter. They told in part again.
That's kind of true.
It is, but it's not. It's not supposed to be.
It's not
like
a 1 out of 10.
His
It's
story.
not a documentary,
Yeah,
though.
it's supposed to be from the lens of a female going through almost everyday life here. It's not supposed to be about Rodney Alcala. It just includes him.
Right. Right.
The worst thing I've ever seen streaming. Amateur is the word here. Nothing ever for 1 minute appeared like this 1970s. It says the dialogue, sets, costumes, hair, makeup were all assigned to interns circa 2020.
Who is he? Blast him. Click on him and see what else he reviewed.
Can you do anonymous? There's no name on this one.
What?
Lame.
Anyway, so I was all over the place with mine.
CSC goof, yeah. Fool Me Once, The Terminal List, The Tower. Oh, these are all bucket. Whatever, go ahead. Go ahead. We're done with that.
Like I said, I was all over the place. I was asking people what they wanted to hear, what I wanted to see. And I wanted to do one that usually I do one of my favorite movies that I want more people to see. And I'm curious to see if this will be one of my favorite movies because this is one of the only films I haven't seen by this person. So I have chosen 1989's Dead Poets Society with Robin Williams.
Oh.
You haven't seen this?
I have not. That's one of his only films I have never seen. I own it, so I don't know why I haven't watched it yet.
I hate when people do
but
that.
this will force me to watch it.
And I do that too. When people are like, you haven't seen that? Yes. I literally just said I haven't seen that.
I was between 2 movies. One, it will get to eventually for sure. And I know everybody loves this movie. My other one. So that's why I was like, let me do this one. I don't know how you guys, or if you've even seen this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Very
though.
confused.
It's been a while, so I'm trying. I remember him being in like his office and talking to Robin Williams.
I've seen a clip here or there, but I've never watched this movie. And I was like, I need to finally this needs to be crossed off my list.
Sydney's bringing back 2 characters we've already reviewed. Nice.
What?
Well, Robin Williams and
oh yeah,
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon's not in this one, is he? Is he? I don't know. I'd never seen it. So
wait. Sorry, I'm thinking Good Will Hunting. You said Good
I
Will
almost said Good Will Hunting.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, are you thinking of the one where he solves the math problem?
That's the one I was thinking of.
It's Ethan Hawke.
Yes.
And I don't know if we've reviewed Ethan Hawke before, but
I have.
Directed by Peter Weir. Weir? W-E-I-R? How do you say that?
Weird.
Peter Weir. Written by Tom Scholma. Peter Weir. What has he directed? Yeah, we can talk about this. The Way Back. That's
so nothing
the same.
of
The Way Back. I thought it was.
Nothing pops out of note other
Not
than Dead
really.
Poets Society, huh?
Yeah, not. He directed The Truman Show.
Oh, very good.
And Fearless, Green Card, Master and Commander. Yeah.
Well,
Finally, I'm going to cross this off my list. My
We have-
one Robin Williams I haven't done yet.
Yeah, that's cool because you even did a Robin Williams month, didn't you? Where you watched like 15 or something.
I made a whole list of every single movie he did because there were a few that I hadn't seen, and I was really upset with myself, especially at Good Morning Vietnam. I was so mad I didn't watch that movie sooner in my life because it's such a good movie. I had seen clips here or there, like when he's, off the trucks, talking to the guys and stuff like that. But this was the only one I didn't get to, and I bought it. I believe it's streaming on Hulu and Apple. I have it on Vudu as well. So
cool.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking at my list of the people we've reviewed the most.
Oh yeah, you have weird categories. That's awesome.
Bruce Willis is our highest.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Pulp Fiction, Alpha Dog, and Over the Hedge.
Oh,
as far as the many
you
things.
guys watched Pulp Fiction?
Yeah,
I wasn't there for that or Alpha Dogs. This was before me. I would have changed the rating on both of those movies.
Then we got Samuel L. Jackson for 2, Adam Driver for 2, Catherine O'Hara for 2.
What was the other Adam Driver movie?
The Dead Don't Die. This Is Where I Leave You.
Yeah. Okay.
Deborah Wilson.
So this will tie Robin for second.
John Hamm for 2. Yeah. Flea for 2.
We need more Robin Williams movies in our life.
Lynn Shay for 2. John Leguizamo for 2. Leonardo DiCaprio for 2. Nah.
If you count Departed.
Yeah, Departed and Romeo.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Romeo. I almost actually picked 2 Christopher Nolan movies. I was going through all his movies, but in the end, I picked this one. So, there's one we're going to do for my podcast, which may or may not ever record another episode.
We'll see.
It's a lot of work to do the job that Justin does.
It is. And even me trying to do it the other day,
How far did you got?
5 minutes in.
Some stuff. Yeah, basically. Well, I was re-listening to it. We have a lot of good things to say in that. People will be excited for it.
It's actually going to be probably released by the time this comes out.
Maybe. It was supposed to be like 4 times a year I was going to release one of these, and it might be yearly now at this point.
I took 2 vacations since then. I wanted to get it done in July. Or by my birthday.
Yeah, Justin and I both tried to edit this, and we just don't get to it because you're busy with a lot of other stuff. Tell Jeremy to edit his own movie so you can edit my podcast.
He wants me to do some stuff for a podcast that he wants to start too.
I saw that.
We will see. It's a lot on my plate, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start.
You're gonna have to start saying no sometime.
I'm gonna have to start,
children.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start paying you. I gave you soup.
Soup.
Anyway.
All right. Well,
thanks for listening.
So look forward to that anytime we get to it.
Yeah.
Take us out, Brian.
Yo. That's it.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This concludes our broadcast day.
Do you think that you could not tell anyone about this? Please?
Okay. That's very far out.
Click.
I'm probably making this harder than it has to be.